Greetings everyone, what is up? Welcome back to Top Tier Arcade. My name is Steve, and we're back in the apartment. In this game review, we're going to be checking out Bram Stoker's Dracula. This is going to be part 3 of the 5-part series of BSD. Now, I'm going to pick you up in just a moment and give you some details about the game, some cool facts, some even secrets that I found out along the way, and also the highlights of the game. So I'm going to cut now and let's review Bram Stoker's Dracula. So, this is Bram Stoker's Dracula Pinball. This game was based on Bram Stoker's Dracula, the movie that came out on November the 13th, 1992. It was directed by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Gary Oldman as Dracula himself, right there. Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, Keanu Reeves, and furthermore, this game was not only based on the movie, but the movie was then based on a book that came out on May the 26th, 1897 in the United Kingdom, named Dracula by Bram Stoker. So it was a book, made a movie, made a pinball machine. This machine was designed by Barry Osler. It's a Williams WPC released in April 1993, around 6 months after the movie. There are 6,801 cabinets made of this game. It's a 4-player game because it is a DMD, and so there's only 2 flippers, and it's a 4-ball game. The game's highlight really are the 3 different multi-balls right there, seen there, which are including Castle Multiball, Coven Multiball, and of course the Mist Multiball, which is a revolutionary magnet that moves across the entire playfield, and for you to knock off its access to start the Miss Multiball and get super high points. So what would happen is once you hit Miss Multiball, you see that little gate right there and where that ball is? Well, what would happen is you see these little circles on the playfield. These are all magnets. Underneath the playfield, they'll slowly, and then while Dracula is saying mist, and then it's going, and it's kind of moving like that. It's kind of, it's funny. My wife saw it. She said that was cute. You know, kind of goes around, and it's a hurry up shot, because if it comes now back in this holder here, then you've missed it. So the goal is obviously hit it off and hit massive points, and it was the first. It was a really, and I don't think there's ever been a magnet like that in pinball yet, has there? Maybe in the comments if I'm wrong. I can't think of another game that has it like that. And I wish they brought it back. I know that it's one of these, operators, it's contentious because it's such a pain in the ass to fix. The optos are line of sight. They're an older version. So if there's anything that blocks it, it has to be exact, which the optos have to be exact, because this is a very tough mechanism to keep going. Knock on wood. This has been solid. When Chris and I was talking, who I bought it from, he goes, so far, Steve, I got it working. It took forever, but now it plays magnificently. Now, Doug, a tech friend of ours, I asked him as preventative maintenance, what should I do? Because this is always something somebody asked. Actually, 3 times, as soon as I bought the machine, few people, the first thing they asked me was, number 1, is there cabinet wear, which there is not. I just turned the lights off. Obviously, you can see the playfield better, but there's no cabinet wear. And if you go to my part 2 video before this, you'll see all around I've gone in and out, and it's beautiful. Second is always, again, how's the playfield, especially does the Miss Multiball work, and both do. And both are great. So that's something that you would have to take this apart. So Doug was saying you'd have to take this apart. You'd have to do all that, which is unfortunate. He said, I wish the opto was somehow underneath, accessible through the playfield, but it is not. So you have to literally take all these castles off and all the ramps, and it's a huge pain in the ass. And not only that, when you dial it in and it's a little off its axis, you'd have to redo it again. So far so good. Hopefully that stays solid in the years to come. On top of that, there's 2 more multi-balls. Both Castle and Coffin Multiball are 2 separate physical ball locks where you'd come up here, and then there'd be a diverter, and obviously it would lock here and then it'd lock there. So really cool when it comes to multi-balls. And ultimately, the goal for a serious player, and if you really want to get massive points, is to stack all 3 multi-balls together. you know, hitting all the modes, hitting everything else. So that's something definitely that that, you know, serious players and how you get serious points and really get to the game, because it's not too deep. Obviously, it's a WPC in the 90s, but it is definitely a tournament game. It's fast. It's a quick game compared to my Hobbit, which is a very long game. Sometimes I want to play for 5 to 7 minutes, just, you know, shoot the ball here and there. I mean, mind you, I'm not a great player, and I've just bought the game, but it is very, very infectious. You want to play again because sometimes you just lose really, really quick. It's still a top game and a staple in a lot of respected collections. It is the top 50 at all time. This is based on Pinside. I think it's number 49 at the moment. So it's one of those games that, despite, you know, the movie's a little campy, it's a little cheesy. I've just seen the movie twice. Once when I was sober, once when I was high, just to get a different perspective. And both times I still don't know what the hell is going on. But I love the game, and wife's like, okay, we'll watch it maybe again, and I'll try to explain, because I've been online, and I don't know, some things I'm questioning, and I'm not really enjoying it. But either way, it's cool because it also has lightning flippers. Now, lightning flippers, I'm going to get into the story of how they came to be through the grapevine when I do my next video in the memories, and I'll explain what I've heard and move forward with that. Another couple things which is really neat that I just found out is when you just say I hit the high score. Right now it shows Ben. So, and then AJA for an example. So if you were to put SUN in the initials, what would happen is you'd get, on the high score, you have to get a high score, the display right here will read, no, not the sun, because obviously vampires don't like sun. So that's kind of cool. Another thing is, is if you press both flippers together, when the Renfield animation is shown on the DMD, there will be a call out that says Master, and you get 5 million points. So that's a nice little cool trick that I heard about as well. So I haven't even really done those yet, so I'm looking forward to those. And another cool one that I've heard is when Dracula crosses his eyes during a mode, if you hit the launch button, you'll see a silly Easter egg, but it's actually really funny. So Dracula, I haven't done it. Maybe what I'll do is two things I'm going to do. There's the launch button. That's the review of the cabinet and a couple of cool things that I've learned along the way. What I'll do now is cut to the Miss Multiball. So I'm going to just activate it just to show you. And then what we'll do is I'll play until I see Dracula's crossed eyes and see what comes up on the DMD, because I'm not sure what it is. So let's cut to those. And then here's the Miss Multiball. So there goes the ball, and it's going to its hole there. I want to hit it. So you would have to hit it off its axis. So that's the Miss Multiball and how it goes across the playfield. As you can see, it's not as easy because the magnet's really strong, and sometimes if you hit a light flip and it goes near the ball, the magnet catches both balls, and then you're kind of screwed, which is neat. So that was Miss Multiball, and then also a quick showing of a tip for get more points on the Wolf, the video mode. And then I'm gonna set you up quick, and let's try to get Dracula's crossed eyes. Press start, press the launch ball and see what happens. Another thing I want to show you is on the on the video mode, the closer the wolf and shows its teeth, you get a million. So when it showed its teeth and I hit it, it was a million. That's another thing I wanted to show as well. That's a little cool little tip. Closer the teeth, risk reward. The risk reward closer to the teeth, the more you get the points. You get a million, but if you shoot it really far away, it's 250,000. That's one kind of little trick I wanted to show. There it was. There it was. Fluffy the vampire. I don't know what that is. I almost want to do it again, but I'm going to review back the footage. I haven't seen that live before. I'm actually going to turn the game on, because now it's going to be two-player. Yeah, that was Fluffy the vampire thing it was, right? You'd actually just pass speed, it gives you 20 points, which is absolutely nothing in this game. I don't know where that came from. I did a bit of research on the game, good, half hour, but I didn't do the... I didn't do the Fluffy the Vampire, and I don't know like where that came from or why Williams put it. I don't know. It would be interesting to find out. If you guys know... God, listen to this thing. Okay, the reason it's that loud is because it has pin sound, but anyways. Well, everyone, there we have it. That was Bram Stoker's Dracula. That was part 3 of the video series, which is the game review. I hope you guys liked the video. I did learn a little about the game more that I did the reviews on it, which is very common for all the games, of course. When you do more research, you learn more. It was cool to finally know what when he crosses his eyes, Dracula, that you press the launch button, and then it's Fluffy the Vampire. It's a little kid, looks like, vampire teeth from the Halloween store, and you get 20 points, which again is nothing to this game, which is a high-scoring game. One thing I said wrong was he doesn't say missed in the movie. He says wins. I just actually thought about that. But I showed you again, missed multi-ball. It looks really cool. It was magnificent, in its time, and it still is. I don't know why other games don't do that. Is it cost? Is it, probably a functionality with vendors? But either way, it was maintenance, but it's cool. I really like it. And then also I showed you something that I remembered where the closer the wolves come and it shows their teeth, it's 250,000, I think 500,000, and then you see a little teeth to 750, and then 1 million if it sees their teeth, but it's risk reward. Because if they get close, because they're coming at you, and the longer the game progresses, the faster and more of them, you might get eaten. So that's cool, but yeah, it's a game that was on my list for years. I'm going to get into the whys in the memories video. We're going to sit down, have a cigar, like we always do in the 5-part series. Part 4 is going to be, again, reflecting on why I like the game, some cool history that through the grapevine, and speaking of vendors of old, why lightning flippers came to this game and why they were replaced. And all that and more on the next video. Thanks again. Subscribe if you can. I have a lot more coming. It's getting into another fall, and let's see what the future brings. Thanks for checking out Top Tier. Peace.